Tonight we're going all the way to Thailand. But if you are tied up and you can't be here at the moment, don't worry, I'm going to have a recording put on my website, destinationwhatever.com, and I'll throw it on my social media as well. But for everybody who's here right now, let's take a look. Let's get going to Thailand. It's a great destination and we've got so much to cover. And there I am over in Thailand. That's a picture of me up in northern Thailand, which we'll talk a lot about northern Thailand today. Again, for those of you who might be new to me, my name is Dave Wentworth. I'm Destination Whatever, and I am a travel agency owner. I'm a travel agent. I like to connect people with trips that give them exhilarating experiences and real cultural, authentic moments. So whatever that might look like, it would depend destination by destination. But as we'll see today, there's a lot of really cool ways that you can interact with Thailand and a lot of great ideas I have to help get you there. So if you're in the market for a trip to Thailand and you're looking for someone to help take your plans and turn them into reality, get in touch. I'd love to connect with you. All right, well, let's get going tonight with Thailand. One of my inspirations in travel, communication, food, just everything, Anthony Bourdain. He says about Thailand, given our limited time on this earth and the sheer magnificent, the near limitless variety of sensory experiences ready available in the country, Thailand, you don't want to miss any of it. So Anthony Bourdain, I think, was maybe one of the first times I got exposed to Thailand, seeing him go there in his travel shows and seeing him travel all over Thailand. And I knew myself, I was like, oh my gosh, this is something I want to do. So a little bit about tonight's menu. What we'll tackle is just give you a little bit of information about myself, and then we'll kind of move into talking about Thailand. In terms of the facts tonight, we're going to look at some essential info. I'm going to have some info on the climate, the geography, really important in Thailand because we definitely do have a rainy season to consider. I'm going to talk about the must-see sites and kind of take you region by region. I divvy Thailand up into 3 regions, and you'll see that tonight as we go along. And then finally, my top 5 moments. I've had the pleasure of going to Thailand twice. I would go to Thailand again in a heartbeat. I just love getting people over to Thailand. And one other thing about Thailand is, I've helped a lot of people from coast to coast of different different interests, different lifestyles, different people looking for different things for Thailand. So anyway, I think my top 5 will give everybody some ideas of things that they'll want to check out in Thailand. A little bit about me. So again, my name is Dave Wentworth, better known as Destination Whatever. That's my travel agency, destinationwhatever.com. My background in academics is in international development. That's what I studied at university. And I loved studying international development because it was an opportunity to explore the world, to explore learning about different cultures, different religions, different languages. And as I studied these different courses, I wanted to go to these countries and I wanted to go there in a way that was responsible and a way that, really got under the skin of the destination. And so as I moved into my career, that's what I've been doing, helping people have really cool travel experiences. And I've had the pleasure myself of going to a lot of destinations. I've been to over 40 countries on 6 continents. I've been to some countries that are a little bit oddball, but I've also been to the mainstream countries. And my experience has been doing this for Canadians over a decade now. And again, helping lots of people get to places all over the world. And when I'm not doing that, I have passion for communication, foreign languages. I love learning foreign languages. Sometimes I've taught foreign languages over the years. Again, cultures, maybe that's having some delicious food or other ways learning about culture, just learning about the world. That's where I'm at. And then in a professional sense, ways that you might see me out in the community, I love talking about travel. So things like tonight's online presentation, but also in-person events. If you're looking for somebody to show up at your next staff event or, I don't know, a book club or whatever, get in touch, book me in. If I can't be there in person, I can show up online and talk to you about a specific interest. If you have a specific travel topic that you'd like me to illuminate on. And then if you're working with me on trips, I love promoting unique destinations. It's just in my blood. Here's a picture of me at Chernobyl. That was a really cool trip. And then, I like to transcend that with my customers into unique experiences. And so picture here, it's this like cargo freighter ship in French Polynesia, but there's so many unique experiences and lots of different ways to interpret that. People, are interested in eclipses right now, taking trips to places where they can witness an eclipse while they're on their trips. So I like to plan trips and look at those details and just try to make each trip, a home run with its concept and with the with the trip itself, the arrangements, but just how we're doing it. All right, cool. Let's get into Thailand, our host destination tonight. So Thailand is located in Southeast Asia. I have a few maps of Thailand. This will be the only map of Thailand we're looking at tonight. And the capital and the main city of Thailand, it's Bangkok. And that's, kind of how we'll really be seeing tonight's journey start. It's how my trips to Thailand have started and ended, always in and out of Bangkok. And Thailand's a destination that I really think has it all. Up towards the north, you get the green jungle. And in Bangkok itself, of course, you get the cosmopolitan vibes. And then if down the south of Thailand, we get the beaches. And, the beaches of Thailand are just exquisite. I think I first learned about the beaches of Thailand watching the movie The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio. I remember just seeing those beaches and thinking, oh my gosh, I would love to go to those beaches. And eventually I did. All right, so the geography of Thailand, here's a bit of a better map of Thailand. So when I talk about North Thailand, I'd be talking about the part that you see here in green and orange. And North Thailand, we'll see a lot of itineraries that go up to North Thailand. And when you go up there, there's, I think, a lot of the cultural treasures of Thailand can be found up there. And then in the middle part of Thailand, so if you look at the yellow part and that kind of mauve, purpley color there, that would be central part of Thailand. And that really, Bangkok is a big part of that. And then if you look down into southern Thailand, that's going to be the purple part on this map. That's where you're going to find the beaches. And the main thing we're going to see about that is there's two coastlines and there's different seasons for that. So all sorts of great beaches, palm trees, water activity, you name it, resorts, but different times of year that you're going to want to focus on going there. Tongue-tied. Have you ever felt tongue-tied, maybe with the Thai language? Well, I'll tell you a little bit about the language in Thailand. That would be Thai. And like a lot of other Asian languages, like it's a tonal language. I think they have 5 tones in the Thai language, and it's written in its own script. And I think for a lot of folks, when you're coming from this part of the world to that part of the world, you can look at the language and it looks quite complex. It is spoken by over 70 million people, and that's essentially the population of Thailand. But English is well represented in the tourism sector. I've traveled in Thailand on tours, and I've traveled in Thailand on, as an independent traveler. And in both senses, I found getting around quite easy, despite not knowing a single word of Thai. Money, obviously, you're gonna need some money when you get over there. So the currency of Thailand is the baht, and the way you'll see it stylized, like when they do prices and stuff, it's the letter B with the line through it. And it's really easily available. You can get it often from banks ahead of time if you'd like to get your money arranged before departure. But there's also ATMs over there that you can access. Also, Thailand just is fully integrated. In my experience, I hadn't had no problems ever using credit cards in Thailand, tapping, things like that. So Thailand's really kind of with it, with the modern world for commerce. In terms of the exchange rates, though, because you certainly will see prices in Thai baht. 1 Canadian dollar is about 27 Thai baht. 100 Thai baht is $3.73. I'm not a mathematics person, but this is kind of like a place where I'd be dividing by 3, I think. But again, I'm not the math expert. As I say that, I'm going to take you into a graph. This graph is the weather of Thailand, and it's from Bangkok. And I want you to look at this and think about when you're planning your trip to Thailand. I don't think there's a bad time of year to go to Thailand. Let's take a look at the red bar and the blue bar. Blue bar is going to be your low daily average temperature, and the red bar is going to be your high daily average temperature. And so we can really see, like, yeah, it gets a little bit cooler around January and December, but essentially we're up above 20 all the time for daily minimums, and then our daily maximums are up above 30 all the time. So the weather in Thailand is hot, hot, hot. The main thing though, let's take a look at those rainy periods. So we can see May is quite a rainy period, but September and October, very, very rainy. And so, yeah, I've been to Thailand a couple of times. My first time I went there was over the holidays. So I was there in December. There was not a lot of rain. You can see on this graph, there's not a lot of rain represented. That's really was my experience. But the second time I went to Thailand was in late September, early October, and there was definitely some major rain showers. It was kind of cool to see, but it would just be something to think about when you're planning your schedule. Also, in terms of planning, I'll talk about the South because most people I chat with, I'm planning a trip for, they want to go down South, they want to experience the beaches of Thailand. You can really get down there at any time of year, but just think about which coast you go with. So, on the left, from November to April is when you'd want to go to the Andaman coast. So my trip that I went there over the holidays in December, this is where I was at. I was over in Krabi. You can go to Krabi, there's Koh Phi Phi, Koh Lanta, Phuket, Phang Nga. There's all sorts of areas be kind of right and around here for visitors, but also down here, Koh Lanta. We'll see some pictures of that. And if you really want to push yourselves to the limits, you can go towards Taratau. I think that's actually where they filmed Survivor Thailand. And if you're going at another time of the year, if you're going in May to October, you would want to head over to the Gulf of Thailand coast. And we'll see some pictures here, but Koh Phangan is here and Koh Samui is over here, Koh Tao. So there's, again, different islands. When you see Koh, K-O or K-O-H, that means island in Thailand. So if you're planning an island hop, you definitely want to be looking for Koh, 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 Koh. All right. So in terms of getting to Thailand, it's not near. It's a long haul destination. But what's really cool is that Vancouver is now doing a nonstop flight, Vancouver to Bangkok. It's with Air Canada. It is on a seasonal basis. So it's going to start up again in October. And then in October and November, it's going 3 times a week. And then December to March, it's going to go 5 times a week. And then in April, it's going to go back down to 3 times a week. So not every day, but a lot of services. And, pretty much from everywhere in Canada, you can get out to Vancouver. This flight works so that you can get your connections in the daytime to get out to Vancouver, and it takes off overnight. And it's a 15.5 hour flight. So, I mean, that's about on par with a flight all the way to Australia. And there are other options out there in addition to the nonstop option. Yeah, anyway, that nonstop option started up a couple of years ago, and it's just been really popular with Air Canada and with Canadian travelers, and helping them get over to Thailand a little bit easier. And another part about getting into Thailand easy, having your trip over to Thailand, is that entry into Thailand is pretty straightforward for a Canadian passport. You can get in
Thank
for
you.
30 days, and we would then you'd be basically good to go for 30 days. You might need to show that you have proof of sufficient funds. Sometimes customs asks to see that, or hotels or bookings. And when I've gone to Thailand, you can have a name of accommodations to fill out on the landing form. That was always really important to have that piece of information arranged. And if you've booked a tour or an itinerary or anything like that, you'll have those details at your fingertips. But yeah, otherwise 30 days, good to go on a Canadian passport. So that's another thing too. I think about trips in Thailand. I have a little formula coming up in a few slides for how long a trip to Thailand should be, but 30 days is a good amount of time. Getting around Thailand, lots of different ways you can do that. Of course, you can walk the streets and get around anywhere. It's safe, it's easy. There's tuk-tuks, that's what's pictured here. These are a fun experience. There's a pickup truck that they also do in Thailand called a song thao thao hiao. I hope I'm probably butchering that, but anyway, that's a way to get around. Bangkok has an amazing metro system, just a beautiful, clean, easy to use, efficient metro system, cheap as chips, and can just get you anywhere in the city. Taxis are abundant. You should, agree on a fare before setting out, but otherwise, really easy to get around. You can do buses or trains to get around Thailand. There's long haul networks all over the country for those. And then on top of it all, there's a lot of domestic flights now. A lot of people are flying. And so from Bangkok up to the north or Bangkok down to the south, those flights are about an hour each. And yeah, they're abundant and they like practically going every hour and they're cheap. So some people are just flying to get down to Thailand's beaches or get up to the north as quick as possible. Cuisine, Thai food's a big thing. A lot of people love Thai food. We think about Thailand, we think about the cuisine. Here I am slurping up some noodles. I'd also recommend trying a cooking class. We'll look at some itineraries. But just local cuisine in Thailand, I would definitely like to let people know how affordable it is, and it's quick and it's tasty. And on the tour that I went on, I'll show you the tour we did in northern Thailand. We had a lot of opportunities to interact with the food and go to local markets. And I found the food was really fresh. And by following my guide and going to local markets and going to spots that had, a lot of turnover, etc., the food was healthy and nutritious and sanitary. And I had no problems with the food. And also lots of great tropical juices and beers and wine. Wine was a little bit harder to find than beer, but I could always kind of find it at water available. So again, food and beverage, Thailand is a breeze, really enjoyable destination. All right, let's start taking a look and breaking down the destination a little bit with some photos. And again, we got 30 minutes here tonight, everybody, so we're not going to get every little bit and piece of Thailand covered in that time. But a few starting thoughts I would give people, Bangkok, I think, is going to be a part of your equation no matter what, because it kind of is the hub and spoke for transportation getting in and out of Thailand. But also, it's a great city. It does connect the north to the south. It's also a transportation hub within Southeast Asia itself. And so, there's that old-timey song, old-timey being from the 1980s, One Night in Bangkok and the World's Your Oyster. But yeah, I think it's a great city to spend a few nights in. And so there's the reclining Buddha. You can see that at Wat Phra. And Wat is another important word if you're thinking about going to Thailand. Wat means temple. So anytime you see that word, and you'll see it often, it means a temple. The Chatuchak Market, I was there the last time I was in Thailand. That was my second visit. It's a Saturday market. It's a great market. There's a lot of markets, though, to experience if you miss this one. Wat Arun, the Temple of the Dawn, that's another popular well-visited site in Bangkok. And a few other things that I did in Bangkok that people like to do. Khao Road is well known as, the backpacker or hippie quarters of Bangkok. I don't know if that's as much nowadays or if that's kind of in times gone by, but it definitely has a hell of a nightlife. I was there at nighttime and it was loud and boisterous, but in a fun way, and lots of cheap drinks and again, night markets. And I remember seeing scorpions on a stick and tarantulas on a stick and all sorts of things that you could kind of really let your hair down and go really wild on Koh Road. So that can be fun if that's your thing. Another fun night market. I like this one a lot, Siloam and Patpong Market. I like Siloam through the day. I like the shopping. There's some great shopping to be had here, both markets and Western style malls. And then another thing I did on my first time in Thailand, I went to go see Muay Thai, and that was really fun. That's the type of Thai wrestling where they're, or kind of like an extreme martial arts. I don't know the technical term, but anyway, it was a lot of fun to go and see that. That was something I just went and I got tickets of the day of. My hotel concierge just set that up, and then went and had a few drinks and snacks in the stands, and yeah, watched some Muay Thai. All right, going up north, I think a good trip to Thailand starts off in Bangkok because, again, you're kind of bound to go there. And then from Bangkok, once you're ready to go and head up north, I would start with north because I think that's where you're going to be doing the things that are going to expand your mind, or if you're going to be doing your physical things, if you're going to see culture and you're going to want to take it all in. I think a lot of that happens in the north. And then, not to say that the south is devoid of the culture, but we're going to go down to the south when we're ready for those beaches at the end, when we want to put our toes in the water and feel the sand. But for right now, let's focus on the north because, it's green, it's jungly, it's lush, and it has cool temperatures, which is really nice. But again, just really rich cultural history here. Temples, and you see the monks wearing their orange robes, and it's just amazing. But I want to start off with elephants because I love an elephant experience, and Thailand has some great ways to interact with elephants. Again, I'll show the tour that I did here. You could book this tour. It will take you up to go see some elephants. And we went to go see them at a sanctuary where they were in the water, and they were washing themselves, using their trunks and getting the water and hosing themselves down and splashing. And then they had brought them out, and then these ones could actually pick up a paintbrush and like paint, and then they would sell the paint that the elephant would make. And so it was just a really cool experience and an appropriate way to interact with elephants. And then there's the Golden Triangle, which is the border of Laos and Myanmar and Thailand, where they all come together. And there's history there that goes back to the opium trade. And so you can go check that out in northern Thailand. And then Chiang Mai is another great city. It's like maybe the secondary city of Thailand or the capital of the north. There's a cool temple up there. All the modern amenities are there. The tour I did ended in Chiang Mai. And then I actually stayed on for 2 nights and did a resort right on the River Ping, which was gorgeous, just laying there and looking out at the river and the green landscape, the kind of rice terraces, the fields. I just love that. Real hard life. And a few other things up in the north, the White Temple in Chiang Rai, I think is exquisite. It's just unlike any other temple in Thailand. And sometimes on a trip to Thailand, you feel like you see 1,000 temples, but the White Temple in Chiang Rai is just totally one of a kind. And another thing I think a lot of travelers are looking for in northern Thailand, and certainly part of a good itinerary, are ways to interact with the hill tribe culture. So it could be the Hmong people, which you see here in the center, but also the Karen people, which have the long necks with the golden rings. But getting up into the hills of Thailand, really getting off the beaten path and finding places where the cultures have remained intact for generations upon generations. A lot of athletic things you can do in the north. Here's some people from my group that we went out cycling for one day around the temples. That was arranged for us out of Chiang Mai. It was a lot of fun. And then, yeah, so down the south, that's where you're going to get that beachier vibe. And so there's just a lot of places here that I could name drop, but essentially they're beach upon beach upon beach. And so we can start off with Krabi. I think Krabi is a better alternative to Phuket if you're looking for places in the south. I think Phuket's just a bit urbanized. It's built up. It's a trip, a lot of transportation that goes through there. But yeah, it's just not as chillax, I think, as Krabi. Although Krabi certainly is quite busy. And then from out there, you can head out to the islands to Maya Bay. So that was very famous again to cite the movie The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio. That took place out in Maya Bay. I did a day tour that went from Krabi. They took us around on a yacht, and one of the stops was a couple of hours in Maya Bay, so we could float around there. It was just amazing. I loved it. And then Koh Lanta, just a little bit further down to the south. I think some of the European Survivor is filmed in Koh Lanta. But anyway, again, it's going to give you that tropical beach. And these are going to be the spots on the Andaman side. So these are going to be for your November to April visits, right? And then if you go for the other time of the year and you're over in the Gulf of Thailand, you might want to look at Koh Samui, another beautiful beachy island, or Koh Phangan, or further out, you can go to Koh Tao. So, how long to go to Thailand, when to go to Thailand? I think Thailand is a wonderful destination. I even think the September and October rains can be managed as long as you're aware of it. But I think most of all for Canadians, it's a fabulous winter escape. And I think that's why you see Air Canada really ramp that schedule up in December because, who doesn't want to trade the snow shovel in for a Thai massage or a Mai Tai or something like that. And so if you're building up your time in Thailand, I'm going to show you some itineraries, but a like general sequence, I would say, consider 2 to 4 days in Bangkok. And we're going to want to think about itineraries that start and end here because it is a transportation hub. And then think about the north. We want to go up to the north. We want to get the culture. We want, I showed you all those slides, the people, the temples, 5 to 10 days, depending on how far you want to go with it all. And in the south, I would say your beach end up, you're going to look for 3 to 7 days there. How long you want to go down to the beach, that depends to you. Now, this gives us 10 to 21 days if you took the shortest of those estimates and the longest of those estimates. So it could certainly fall between 10 and 21 days, or it could go beyond 21 days. Just keep in mind again, though, that your entry to Thailand, you're going to get 30 days on your passport on your entry at the beginning. So, 21 out of 30 is not too bad. And the first time I went to Thailand, I went for 21 days. I had 3 weeks of vacation, so I spent it all over in Thailand. So I got 5 tips here for doing up Thailand, and then we'll take a look at a few tours, and then we'll call it a night. My first tip is that if you're going down south, try to do a little bit more than just lay on the beach. So I went to the Tiger Cave Temple, or Wat Tam Swea. I hope I pronounced that correctly or somewhat close. And that wasn't too far from Krabi where we were staying. So we had just booked a car and driver to take us over and wait for about 2 hours while we went up because it was 1,260 steps to reach the top of this mountain where there was a temple. And yeah, I'm not sure why I have a picture of me up there. It's not loading, unfortunately. So I'll just move on. But you have to go up there. You just walk up to this temple, and it's amazing. And if you don't want to walk up a temple in the south, I don't know. Maybe you can do some stand-up paddle boarding or that activity I did around Maya Bay. That was really cool. But just do something so you're not just laying on the beach the whole time. Another thing in my top 5 is just to look for opportunities, of course, for responsible elephant tourism. I think none of us would want to participate or engage in elephant tourism that was done in an improper way. Our hearts just wouldn't be into it. So when I'm working with people and I'm recommending tours, I will only recommend tours that have safe practices, that do elephant visits in a proper way, like the ones here that I get to see where they were making the paintings, and just ensure that these elephants are treated with the utmost respect and care. Look at those beauties. All right. Not sure why a few of these images aren't loading, but whatever. We'll just keep it going with a little bit of information. Thailand, I've got my I got great food here. I've talked about the food a few times here. The street food, if you want restaurant food, just all sorts of food on offer in Thailand. Check it out. That's pretty cool. That's from the cooking class that you can do up in Chiang Mai. And I think a cooking class is a great experience in Thailand because it gives you the opportunity to learn some cooking techniques and you get to bring them home and try them out. And then I would also say Thailand, visit the temples, but do it, of course, in a respectful way. And so a few things about that. You're going to want to think about your dress code. So just, be modest, cover your shoulders and cover your knees. And if we're over there and it's warm, we might not necessarily be wearing those clothes when you're out on the street. So sometimes bringing something like a scarf or something that you can throw around your shoulders is really helpful. And just to, when you're there, not to be boisterous, to speak quietly, just to ask for permission, and don't just snap pictures, and don't be interrupting because we're over there, we're seeing it, but for these folks, it is regular life, it is their customs, and we don't want to interrupt that or impede on that. And I had this picture that I wanted to show you because one thing I learned on my trip to Thailand, before I went over, I had seen it like restaurants and stuff like that, a lot of times Buddhas with just their head, and you're not supposed to do that. It's supposed to only be the Buddha sitting or reclined, but your Buddha should never be just the head. So kind of keep that in mind too, maybe if you want to buy some like Buddha statuettes to bring home. And then my final tip is that, Thailand is so safe. And I think sometimes people think about that Thailand is a spot they want to go. Maybe it's their first time to Asia, or they just think, there's a lot of people, or it might be loud, or I don't know, whatever it could be that's in their mind. But really, Thailand is so welcoming. I always say to my customers who are more mature in age that, you know, they revere age in Thailand. The older you are, like the more hospitality you're going to get. Like, but truly, I mean, everybody I know who's gone to Thailand, man, woman, younger, older, gay, straight. I mean, just anybody has had a wonderful, safe time in Thailand. And I think, again, it can be a really perfect introduction to somebody who's planning a first trip over to Asia, but also a great trip to someone who had been to Asia. I went there with my partner, his first time in Asia. I had been several times to Asia, yet we loved discovering Thailand together. So this was the tour that we did to Thailand. This is called Bangkok to Chiang Mai Express. It's with G Adventures. It's a 7-day tour that goes from Bangkok to Chiang Mai. And I selected this tour for us when I was putting our itinerary together because it gave me what I was looking for. I wanted to get up north and see the culture. I knew the elephants were up there. I knew the White Temple was up there, the Golden Triangle. And so I had 3 weeks. And I wanted some time in Bangkok on my own. I wanted some time in Singapore on my own. I wanted some time on some beaches. So I didn't want all my time going to the touring, but I also didn't want to kind of get started on my own. And so I found this tour fit really well. I booked it at the beginning. So we arrived in Bangkok, spent a few days just to get over the jet lag and got going on this tour. And then by the time I had spent a week on this small group tour, I'd met some cool people. I saw a lot of the northern stuff that I wanted to see. I went to my resort in Chiang Mai and laid by the River Ping for a couple of days, which was really cool. But yeah, it got me started with Thailand. Like I felt really comfortable traveling in Thailand after this short experience. I knew how to get a tuk-tuk. I knew how to get around. I knew how to take care of myself in Thailand. And again, I got to see a lot of cool stuff. Small group size on this, 16 people, and frequent departures. So this one's a really easy one to work into the plans. If you want to do the whole thing, in a guided way. This is the exact same tour I just showed you, but it has the flights down to the Andaman Sea. So this one would be a West Coast departure. So again, this is suitable for November through till April. They would have an option that goes over to the Gulf of Thailand side in those months. So if you want the full 2 weeks in Thailand, this is the way I would recommend doing it. I call it the butterfly tour because it's like two wings. There's the loop up north and then there's the loop down south. But yeah, loopity-loop. You can do this one if you want. It's a great 14-day tour with G Adventures, and this one's priced at $28.49. And the cool thing again for these ones, a lot of solo travelers that go. You don't have to take the single supplement. They'll match you up. It's wonderful. You want something a bit more comfortable that gets up north to see the culture and takes a little bit more time, I'd like to show you this tour. It's the highlights of Thailand with Intrepid Travel. Now, this is a 10-day tour, so it's again a little bit longer, and it is in the comfort style. So the accommodation and the transportation, everything's going to be upgraded. Great one for somebody looking for a little bit more comfort in Thailand, but still priced right at this one's priced from $22.53. A lot of inclusions for food, all your breakfast, 2 lunches, 3 dinners, exciting amount of different types of transportation that you get to take, some great accommodations, and a small group size at 12 people on this one. Again, optional single supplement, you can take it or they'll match you with a traveler of the same gender. But one thing I would say about the two things I would say is number one, I think this is really cool because the Hmong Lodge and you get a chance to go up and interact with the Hmong people, but also 12 people. This tour does book up because there's only 12 spots per departure. So if this is something you're looking for, if you're interested in, it never hurts to book early. If you want to do the same idea but not do it in the same style, you can consider this one. It's 8 days, so it's a little bit shorter and it's explorer style. So the comfort style of the accommodations brought back, but it's still very safe and comfortable. It's just if you don't need that level of comfort, this might be for you. Still has a cool homestay experience in the north to interact with the cultural side of things, and this one's priced at 1,085. So that one's priced right, if you ask me. And then if you have, oops, just jumping all around here. I just wanted to say here, if you have all the time in the world, I have one more to show you, and this is a 29-day smorgasbord from Bangkok to Bangkok. It is the Southeast Asia encompassed, and so it goes from Bangkok up to northern Thailand, where it crosses the border. It's going to take you through Laos, and then it's going to fly over to Hanoi and take you through Vietnam from the north down to the south, and then across to Cambodia, where you get to see Phnom Penh, Siem Reap, Angkor Wat, largest religious complex in the world, and then brings you back to Bangkok. 29 days on this sucker. This one's a great one, and I book it a lot of the time. Snowbirders love this one. You know, they've got the time to get out of here for a month, and why not? And so this is a great 29-day trip. And this one, if you're looking for some options from now until October, this one actually has some sensational savings. Some departures price as low as $36.79. $36.79 for 29 days of touring and all this experience in Thailand. And you could still add some beach time on if you wanted a little bit more in Thailand. Why not? All right, folks, that's about it for Thailand. As we wind up, I'll just let you know that I do have a few other upcoming talks coming up this summer. I have a New Zealand presentation coming up on July 15th. Come check it out. And I have a guest speaker arranged on August 12th who's going to talk to us about Australia, but by rail. Really interesting options for you to go down under and check out the Gone, the Indian Pacific, the Great Southern. So anyway, you can take a look at those on my website in the travel info section and come explore the world with me. That'd be really cool. If you want to check out some past talks or listen to a talk again, all recorded talks are found on my website. Just head over to destinationwhatever.com. And again, just head on up to the travel info section. I would love for you to think about me for your travel needs. I am a pretty cool guy, I'd like to say. But yeah, think of me for your cruising, river, ocean, expedition cruising, small group tours. We looked at a lot of those today for Thailand, personalized itineraries, and adventure travel. You know, adventure is something different for everybody. Food tours, hiking tours, sightseeing tours. There's so many ways that we can be adventurous and discover the world around us. And again, just being a fountain of information, dispensing travel information. I love being a travel educator. And so I think this is the perfect formula to make me the #1 travel agency. And I'd invite you to book your next trip with me, to get in touch and come see why. One way that you can get in touch is Zooming. I offer complimentary Zooms, which can be a really fun way to interact with people, and we can get a chance to get to know each other. You can ask me some questions. Maybe if you're not even sure if you want to book a trip, or you're not even sure where you want to go or what you need, maybe you're just kind of stuck in thoughts. Well, maybe I can help you get unstuck, and the 30-minute Zoom could be just the way to do it. And then lastly, if you need to contact me, here are my methods so that you can reach out. You can get in touch on my website. That's at destinationwhatever.com. There you can send me your travel questions. Maybe you have a quick travel question that you need an answer to, or if you just want to get my opinion on something. Sometimes people just say, I want to pick your brain. I say, well, you can pick my brain through my question portal. Just go with some of your questions and I'll respond to your questions. And then again, you can book that complimentary Zoom, sign up for future correspondence, whatever you need to do. It all happens up on the website. Well, everybody, that's it for our presentation on Thailand tonight. I hope I've given you some things to think about and some reasons to think about going to Thailand, the land of smiles. Trust me, it is just one of the most warmest, and I'm not talking temperature, I'm talking hospitality, just one of the warmest, greatest spots. So if there's anything I can do to help you plan your trip to Thailand, please get in touch on my website, Destination Whatever. But thank you very much. I'm just trying to think, thank you in Thai. Khap khun ka, everybody. Thank you for coming.